Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. I wanted to take a moment to show this area that we're growing in. This is a very marginal area and it's kind of perfect when you are talking about permaculture because in permaculture we really value and use the margins. It's one of our great places of abundance. And this is truly a marginal area. This is the top of the property and most of the property is very secluded and private, but right here is not. This is the top, this is the entryway, there's lots of houses, there's a power line we can't do much underneath, and part of this strip of land here is actually not ours, it's part of the roadway, but it's abandoned, nobody's using it, it's just a little strip of land that touches ours and it will never ever be used for anything. So that makes it great for annual production. So we've only been on this site for about 2 to 3 months and we have a ton of production going in here, and this is an inefficient spot. We're carrying water in by hand in jugs. And we've had very little time to work with the soil. We've had very little time, energy, or money to deal with it. We've only brought in this single load of compost right here, which is mushroom compost. And to the naked eye, this doesn't appear like there's a lot of production going on. It just looks like a weedy, abandoned area, which is great if you're a prepper or something like that, because there's actually a huge amount of food growing in here, and most people would have no idea. So let's take a look at what we have growing. Right here we have a sweet potato patch. There was actually a water line going from here to the house that was dug up, and so I had to fill in this ditch. So instead of just using regular dirt, if I have to do the labor, I'm gonna make it worth my time. So I filled it in with compost and lots of sticks and grass clippings and lots of hugel mound type stuff at the bottom, because potatoes love that fluffy soil. And we have this wonderful crop, and I actually like the greens better than the potatoes, and we harvest from this every single day. We use these delicious, nutritious greens. They're also colorful and really fun on sandwiches and salads, and they grow very easily in this climate, and soon we'll actually get a sweet potato crop out of here as well. Great big patch that's providing abundantly for us right there. We also have some natives that we've left in, like this sumac, that will produce for us. We've started our perennials. We have mulberry right here. And then over there we have Yupon holly, which is a caffeinated plant native to North America that we should all replace coffee with. We have these eggplants that I got for free from the store very recently. It was late in the season, so they wanted to get rid of their seedlings. So I picked up a whole flat of things like this for free, and they have done just wonderfully. The soil here I had to build up because this is a retaining wall I'm building to kind of define the driveway and the mailbox. And since I had to do all that anyway, I just figured, once again, if I'm moving dirt around, I'm gonna put good soil strategically in places, and then I'm gonna start growing there, and it's grown just wonderfully. We've got tomatoes doing really well. We've got cantaloupes doing really well. Again, all of these were free from the store, and the rest of the seedlings were given to us by a wonderful friend, including these pepper seedlings. I'm not sure what variety these are, but they have a cool purple marking that makes for some really fun peppers. We've got more melons growing right here. And then this is really neat. Climbing up the mailbox, we have red Malabar spinach, an edible spinach-like green that climbs. And it's great for trellises, for arbors, and climbing up houses, and in this case, a mailbox. It's just one of my favorite features of the property is this little red Malabar spinach. I would highly recommend that. We've got another one started, and that'll start climbing it soon. As you can see, it will climb anything. It will climb even the other bushes, and it produces extremely abundantly and is a very tasty green. More production going throughout here. We've got lots more cantaloupes. Again, this is only a couple months worth of work, and this was just a flat, weedy, yard-like area, about 20 by 50. We have a whole lot of pepper production, lots of basil doing pretty well. Getting a little bit late in the season for that guy. More spinach is here, or excuse me, more peppers. Lots of bells. We have a lot of mixed bells in this area. And we have spots that we've only planted a couple of weeks ago, such as this row here. This is primarily winter crops, so we're doing a lot of root crops, radishes, parsnips, turnips, and of course greens. We're doing a lot of greens mixtures, so mesclun greens, kales. As you can see, the radishes are starting to do really well, as are the turnips. From the turnips and the radishes, we get two crops. We get the root crop itself, and then we get more delicious greens. And when we overseed so that when they're growing like this, really close together and they need thinned out, we actually get microgreens from it as well. This is incredibly nutritious. The microgreens you buy are mostly garbage because they're grown under lights and they're deficient of all the nutrients they claim to have. This is grown in real good soil and compost, and we harvest it right out of it, and this just goes on our sandwiches, it goes on our salads, it goes on everything. Delicious. We have lots more tomatoes, lots more peppers. I won't show you everything, but there's really a whole lot going on this marginal area. And again, everything we are doing as far as maintenance, such as watering, is by hand and just in our spare time. So I hope that encourages you to look for those marginal areas on your property. Whether they're tiny, whether they're larger like this, it really doesn't matter. If you have a little bit of sunlight coming in, you've pretty much got everything you need. We've improved the soil in some places. Other places we've kind of done the instant garden thing and planted right in, even though the instant garden hasn't really had its effect yet. That stuff, that hay over there, has not even broken down yet, but it's still producing just tremendously for us. So hopefully that's inspiring to some folks and makes you trigger some ideas about how to use your margins. This is just a little area off the driveway that many people would neglect, but we're getting a huge amount of food and medicine from it. Hope that's useful. Y'all, in the meantime, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.